What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. On today's video, worst money mistakes. Let's react.
What are the dumbest financial mistakes that you've seen? That we've seen or that we've done ourselves? Could be both. Okay. I'll start with one of the very first things, and I've seen some people do this. When I got my very first big boy job, I came out of college, I did not have a lot of money, got my first job, had my first salary. I decided, well, obviously, now that I've made it, now that I'm successful, I need to go buy the fancy. I had a paid for truck that ran just fine, but I decided, I need to go out and buy a car. And I went out, and I still remember about an Acura TL. It was a super sweet ride, but I financed it for like 5 years. The interest rate was 9.25%, and I had to have my parents co-sign on it. And looking back, I was like, what was I thinking? That car payment that I was paying.
So here we have the iced coffee hour guys. I follow them and I see their videos quite often. So that's another reason why Americans go into debt and then make a bunch of mistakes with money. Once we get to that job that we always wanted and we get paid big money, we want to go out there and buy an expensive vehicle, just a vehicle that we cannot afford at that time. You have to have a consignor for it. That's insane. Right there, we can already see in school, if we would have been taught that, we wouldn't have done this. This is the first financial mistake that we can make, and we're still making it in 2026. We gotta fix that, guys. We make sure we do it the right way.
Every month could have done so much better, but I fell in the same trap that most people fall into. Like, I wanted more than what my financial situation was ready for, and it was a dumb bozo decision at that time.
I quickly wrote down a few of them because I love picking on myself. First of all, I was in high school driving a $1,000 Chevy Cavalier with $2,000 worth of subwoofers in it. I mean, think about what that could have been worth if I'd have been opening up they didn't have Roth IRAs back then.
Buying NVIDIA, that's right.
I didn't buy anything. That's the good news. You don't have to start when you're 16 years old. I didn't start until I actually graduated college on saving and investing. And then I think about when I bought the internet fund. Y'all have probably never even heard of that. In my first Roth IRA, remember the internet came around, this is the like a 2000 that a lot of this stuff is kicking in, 99, 2000. I put $2,000 in internet fund, and it turned into like $4,000 or $5,000.
So for investing, you should always wait until you get your job and you make the money, and you can set aside a piece of that money, a percentage of your salary for investments. That should be the best way to do it. And frankly, a lot of people are bites on that. Get your job and then look into investment. Personally, if you have a 401k, which nowadays they're really good, they have different categories and you can go in, they have different investment portfolios, and you can go and set some money on the side and throw it in there in the same 401k, which is that's what I'm done. So you can go ahead and set a percentage of the money and throw it out there, play with that money and invest that money. And then over time, by the time you retire, you can be a millionaire just by setting a percentage of your paycheck into that investment fund. So the 401k, the TSP, I love them. I like it. I think this is one of the best financial tools out there. If your job has one, make sure you go into it as soon as you can, get it done.
I thought I was genius. Got all my buddies to load up in it too. We all thought we were so smart. I think I sold it out at $375. So I mean, I got crushed on it. It went all the way up to $5 or $6 grand. Sold it out for $375 because chasing the hot dot, those sector plays, it's boom or bust. It's just not. If I'd have bought the S&P 500, probably be in a lot better place. And then I also think about, because Bo is a CFA, and I love to brag about the Bo as a CFA because that's a very exclusive club to be in. But when he was going through the process of becoming a CFA, we had this thought that we ought to start doing some options trading.
Yeah, I had it all figured out. I had education, so I knew how to.
So we were buying calls, and then we were selling puts on things. And
you should always educate first how the investment world works, how it's set up. And if you don't know how to do it, just don't do it yourself. Find someone that can guide you through it and get it done for you and educate you through the way. So that he said he went all the way to 5,000 and then he had to sell it for like $300. That's a huge loss. So make sure you do it the right way, educate yourself, and then go out there and get it done. But make sure when you do it, be consistent on it. Make sure you do put the money in there. Don't take it out. Don't look at it. Make some adjustments if you need to, but leave it there. That's a key point for it. Leave the money there for a long time. The longer you leave it, the most money you make in the market. If you get some loss every now and then, which is gonna happen, that's okay. Don't freak out. Keep leaving in there. Let them stay in there, and eventually you will get it back up. That's how the investment world works.
This is what I quickly learned about options trading. You can be accurate and correct with your assumptions, but your timing can be crap.
And timing is,
because I shouldn't say short. We sold puts on our bought puts on Netflix, and we were spot on. It was way overvalued at the time that we were doing the puts, but it all matured And then it was 2 months later that the bottom fell. I mean, we would have made an absolute fortune on this strategy, but we were 2 months off. And it just showed us. And by the way, this was my first time screwing up options, because I bought options on Apple years ago where I turned $1,000 into $4,000. Bo was involved in this too, so he doesn't get off but of course we bought the next contracts and we turned it all into $300. So I mean, that's what I've made the mistakes of chasing the hot dot, just like we talk about. And that stuff feels so good emotionally, but I've learned that it's really the hassle factor and then the focusing on small things instead of actually creating behaviors that change your life. It's not worth it, because all it does is leave scars and some carnage. Unless, we joke about NVIDIA, we joke about Apple, but as we talked about earlier, even if you hit those licks, you're still likely going to sell when it doubles, triples, or quadruples.
You go in there, you're going to lose some money. He said it. He bought multiple times. They make, good money, and then you freak out, you take it out, you do something, and it goes back down, and you lose the money. That's how it works. In order for you to not to lose so much money, make sure you know where you're investing that money. One of the key points is don't buy the fund, the bonds or whatever you're gonna invest on. Don't buy it overpriced. Don't buy it on a higher price. You should always be looking. Do a research. Make sure you buy when it's the right time. And if it's undervalued and you think that you went back a couple months or years and you see that the company it fluctuates up and down, you can invest on that one. Don't go hard on it. Just little by little. $100, $200. $500, even $1,000 if you have it. Don't buy it overpriced, because you're gonna buy it overpriced, probably will never get to that amount, and then you're gonna have to sell it down the road and you're gonna lose a lot of money. And worse, you didn't even make money on it, because when you bought it, it was already overpriced.
It'll be there when it goes 10, 20 times of your initial investment.
So what about for other people though? Yeah, I think what's great about our stories are these are I'm going to say small mistakes. They didn't say small at the time, but there were small mistakes early on that we were able to learn from and rebound from. A lot of people that we've seen in our experience have ended up making mistakes, but they make them later on in their life, and they make them to where they're unrecoverable, right? Like, it's one thing if you blow a couple grand on options. It's another thing. In the community that we moved from, where we started the business originally, there was a family that had been incredibly successful. They were real estate developers. They owned all of their real estate, all of their property, a lot of commercial property outright. The father was completely independently wealthy. Well, the son was trying to make a name for himself and kind of continue the empire. And so he said, "Hey, Dad, I got this great idea. We're going to go develop this neighborhood, but I don't have the capital to do that. So we need to mortgage and put up as collateral all of our commercial buildings." And we're talking about 8 figures worth of commercial buildings so that we can go do this development. But it's a sure thing. Community's expanding. It's advancing. And then what happened? 2007, 2008, 2009, the entire thing went belly up. So they ended up going bankrupt, losing 8 figures worth of real estate, all of it getting foreclosed on. And there was no reason for that. There was no excuse for that. The father had already won the game, but he was trying to be a bridge and provide an opportunity for his son.
Make sure that if you're going to make a mistake, you do it at the beginning of your journey, of your investment journey. This guy, his father was already into it. He was already doing big money on it, and he knew how to do it. But then his sons wanted to do something on the side, and see, they lost a lot of money. Once you are set up and you are comfortable with your investments and you have the money, there is no room for mistakes. It could happen. You can't control the market or the economy, but you should know better because you've been there longer. And then now this guy, many years in, made a mistake. They lost a bunch of money. Maybe lost a lot of properties. That's no good. People will feel the pain. You should always learn it first. Get someone to teach you how to work investments, how they work, and it's not easy. You're not gonna be able to learn that in a couple months. It could take you years, but it's your money, it's your family wealth that you're trying to make. When the time comes for your retirement, you guys are set up. You and your family, you have the money coming in, downsize or downgrade your lifestyle. You can keep that lifestyle up and you retire. You don't have to go back to work. And that should be the move that we are looking for. Smart ways and smart teachings, so that way we don't have to go back and relearn stuff or make mistakes that could be avoidable, like this guy here.
And they end up completely belly up, which is just devastating to see that kind of stuff happen.
I mean, things I've dealt with that I always, I used to work with professional athletes, and I can tell you that we've had cases where, these are guys getting multi-million-dollar signing bonuses and other things, and you find out that they financed a pool with 15% interest rates instead of paying cash. We had accounts full of cash they could have paid. I've also had professional athletes driving around cars that the dealership wanted their likeness, so they could use it in advertising. So they give the athlete the car, and then they don't have insurance on it. They don't do anything. They're just doing whatever. And then also personal guarantees. I mean, I think about we all know about the Michael Vick type case study when, got the dog fighting and all those deals they call the banks and everybody called the deals in. I've seen a lot of professional athletes and I've seen a lot of business owners. We've even, because we do commercial real estate, personal guarantees is a scary, scary thing. So that's why you always have to tell people, be very careful before you're signing on to these deals, because a personal guarantee means they can come take whatever they need to make you whole.
That's another thing. People are trying to get stuff that they cannot afford. If you don't have the money for it, you cannot buy it. If you can make the payments, the monthly payments on it, doesn't mean that you can afford it. You have to have maintenance, you have to have tire change, insurance, and people are buying stuff that they cannot afford. They want to put in credit cards, they want to take out loans. You want to get rid of debts. You don't want to get back into them. Like he said in the video, athletes, those are the worst. They make so much money so quick. They just think that they know everything, and then they buy expensive cars. They can't pay for the insurance. They buy commercial real estate. They buy properties. They forgot about a bunch of stuff that comes with all of that, hidden stuff that they don't read on the contract. So whenever they sign the contract and all that, something comes up, they're all over the place. They're lost. They don't know how to do it. And guess what? They will find bankruptcy down the road because they don't have the money to afford that or keep that. So instead of having something that you can make money off of it, make a passive income, build wealth, at the end, it's gonna take you back down. You're gonna start from the beginning, and that's not the way to do stuff. So these videos are very helpful. We should always watch these videos and learn from them, because you're 30 something like I am, and you could probably go back to school and learn it, or you can find you an advisor, which I'm not. I'm just giving out my opinion on these videos. They can teach you how to work that money that you're making, that you're earning, and build wealth on a long run. So these guys are teaching for free on the internet, which you always come back to their videos and learn some stuff. These are smart people. They've been doing this for years. They made the mistakes for us. That's why I'm saying, go back, watch the videos, learn from it.
Story when it comes to a personal guarantee. I had a friend get a business, and his dad was the personal guarantee. For the business. Yeah. Everything was fine for the first year or so. COVID hit. The business was shut down. Someone went after his dad and after their house because of that personal guarantee, because the son didn't have the money for that.
How did it play out? Did the dad end up losing in that lawsuit?
They spent hundreds of thousands of dollars in legal fees.
That's a nightmare.
Just to try to get a settlement. I mean, it was awful.
Parents try to help the kids out. You gotta teach them first. Get them involved with your businesses. Get them involved with you. It is not a taboo. Money is no longer a taboo. We need money to live. Teach your kids how to make it happen, how to make money, how to spend it right, and how to build wealth. Because if you don't do so, this is what happens. Your kids will fall back on you, and you're eventually gonna lose everything that you have built through a lot of years because you didn't sit down with your kids and tell them how the money works. Because guys, like I said before, they don't teach this in school. I mean, Dave Ramsey started doing it now in a couple of states. They have a class going on in high schools, so that's great. And kids that are graduating through that curriculum, they're making good financial move, and that's great. But we don't have that in all states. Here in Puerto Rico, we don't have that. And even worse, we don't get paid a whole lot. We cannot afford to live comfortable. We just have the money for whatever we need, our basic stuff, and that's it. So down here, we have to be wiser with the money than in any other states. If you're lucky enough and God has provided you with different opportunities, you should take that, learn from it, and move forward. These guys, they teaching us. They have done the mistakes many times over, and they're teaching us how to work that money, how to make that money work for us, and how to build wealth in a long run.
Innocent when the banks put this stuff before you too. It's just because you assume everything's going to be great. That's why we always tell people, and it doesn't even have to be mistakes. I mean, I've dealt with clients who were prospects who were coming on board, interviewing us, and then I reviewed the deal, and this is right after the 2017 tax legislation. If y'all remember, that tax legislation made it where attorney's fees were no longer deductible, and we had a client getting this, our prospect that had just signed up, was getting a huge multi-million-dollar payment from this lawsuit. It was
like a high seven-figure deal.
It was a big deal, and as soon as I looked at it, I was like, you guys have structured this all wrong. I was like, none of these attorney's fees are going to be deductible. The client is going to end up with, because they're going to pay it all to the government, they're paying all the attorney's fees, they're going to pay all these taxes, and you're not going to be ending up with what you think you are. They went to their attorneys and they're like, no, that's not true. And then I was like, seriously, this is all new legislation. I know that a lot of people have not taken this in. Go look at, and so it took 2 or 3 phone calls with them, and they came back and they, oh my gosh, he's right. And we were fortunate to be early enough in the process, restructured the whole deal with the insurance companies and everything. And it really did result in this client getting Millions.
It was
I
like
won't
$3 or
say-
$4 million.
Make sure you know what you're doing. In my example, my opinion, we should always need a financial advisor. If you start your career, you start your professional job or career, you should hire an advisor. If you have a 401k, a TSP account, there's plenty of help out there. There are even meetings, conferences that they're doing annually. If you are a TSP employee or 401k employee that you can go to, and they will teach you how to build wealth with your money, strategies on how to make more, how to follow in the market. Ensure you move the money around or have someone to do it for you. Check what's the months that are good, the ones that are worst. Compare them, make move.
Let's talk about 12 things that you need to cut out that are an absolute complete waste of money. Some people might have something indifferent to say about it, but if you want more money in your pocket, it's all going to make sense. Number 1, buying brand new cars. Buying a brand new car is one of the worst financial decisions you can ever do in your life because cars depreciate in value the moment you turn it on and drive it a mile down the street.
Brand new cars. People has decent cars, but they want to upgrade every year. We shouldn't do that, guys. If your car works, it runs good, keep the maintenance up, it will last you 20 to 30 years. Plus, you only want it to go from point A to point B. You want to stop at stoplight, and people will look at you and you want that all praise and stuff because you got a brand new car, your car expensive, looks good. We don't need all that. You just need a reliable vehicle, take care of your family, go to work, and make sure you keep the maintenance up. Make sure if you want a good car, for the long, all cars are good. It depends on how you maintain it, how well you're taking care of your vehicle. It's not how expensive it is, and that's how all the commodities that it has. It's about maintenance and know what you need on that point in your life. If you're a single man, you don't need a 3-row seater SUV worth $80,000. You can get by with a $20,000 car, because you're a single guy. If you have a family, if you have 2 kids, 4 kids, then that's a different story. You need a bigger vehicle, but bigger or better doesn't mean more expensive. You can have you can buy a used one. Doesn't have to be brand new. Keep that in mind.
You are better off keeping the car that you have right now and paying it off, or figuring out how you can get a reliable cash car, because financing is going to keep you stuck forever. Number 2, upgrading your phone every single year. If your phone still makes calls, still makes texts, it doesn't die every hour, the screen is still in good shape, there is no reason for you to be upgrading your phone every single year.
If your phone breaks, fix it. It's cheaper than getting a new one. Now phones are $1,000, even $2,000, which is crazy. You're paying $2,000 for a phone. I'm against that, against getting debt on phones. Any debt whatsoever. You can get by with mortgages and all that. We need that. But phones or cars, I don't like that. And the fact that you're spending $2,000 for a phone and you're looking to upgrade every year because a new phone comes around. It's the same phone, different camera maybe. We don't use all the features on the phone, just the basic ones. So we don't need all of that. And if your phone works, keep it, save the money. Or if you want to buy a brand new phone, save the money, put some money aside. Every time you get paid, put some money on the side, throw it on the side until you get to that money, until you reach the $2,000 or $1,000 or whatever money you need to buy a brand new phone.
Unless your phone is 5 to 6 years old compared to the current year, there is not going to be a significant difference, and it is going to be a waste of money. Number 3 is going to be credit card interest. One of the worst things you could ever have to pay, because there is no return on credit card interest. If you cannot afford to pay for what you bought same day, within 24 hours, or next week, do not buy it. Swipe what you can afford to pay for.
Huge thing, credit cards. Credit card debt in the States, in America, it's getting worse by the minute. Interest rates is up the roof. If you don't have the money, don't use it. Credit cards are not extra money. Those are tools for you to build up credit, get some points every now and then, have some benefits, and that's it. So if you're gonna buy something, credit cards, make sure you buy it, make sure you have the money on the bank, buy it, and as soon as that balance comes up, pay it in full. Don't be doing minimum payments because the interests are way high. You spend $100 and you only pay the minimum, could be $10, but you're gonna spend months trying to pay that $100. It's gonna end up being $500 or $600 off from that $100 that you bought. Let's be smart, guys. Credit cards are not extra money. They're just financial tools, and then you can buy yourself a house, have a good mortgage and a good interest rate. If you need a car down the road, you can go ahead and do so. But be smart. Credit card debt is the worst debt in America right now. People are racking a bunch of debts. They just swiping left and right, and they don't even have the money on the bank to afford that purchase.
Number 4, food delivery apps. Uber Eats, DoorDash. Unless you are disabled or sick, Spending 2 times the amount for the same food if you would have went and got it makes absolutely no sense. You are better off going to get it or figure out how to start grocery shopping and making food at home.
So if you order a sandwich, which is about $5 or $10, you're gonna be spending $25. They're gonna charge you mileage, they're gonna charge you fuel, they're gonna charge you the delivery fee, they're gonna put a tip in there. And I'm not against that, you know, you should find a way to make some money. But if you are able to get to the store and buy the item yourself, save that money, put it on the side, build an emergency fund. Keep that in mind. Do not waste your money. Today is not the time to be wasting money. We should be saving more than buying or consuming.
Number 5, impulse purchasing. Buying things because you got bored is one of the fastest ways for you to stay broke, and the dopamine you get from buying whatever item that you felt like you wanted is only going to last about 5 minutes.
That's another thing. Don't buy extra stuff. If you don't need that, don't buy it. If you have a camera already, why would you need a second one? Stop buying stuff that you don't need or you don't have a use for it. Just don't do it. You're gonna buy it and then you're gonna regret it, and then you won't be able to return it, and then you're gonna have to stick with it and somehow make it work or sell it somewhere for under the value, and you're gonna keep losing money. It all comes down to stop losing money, hold your horses, and make smart moves and smart decisions. That's it for today's video, guys. Please make sure to like, subscribe, and comment, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.